Flagler is riding a 2-game winning streak and looks to keep it going against a new opponent, literally. New College with a brand new men's basketball team visits Flagler Gym this afternoon. Saints basketball starts now. Hi, everyone. Along with the coach, Joe Harding, our producer, Laurel Plexico, and our camera operator, Will Horn, I'm Dave Wenda. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Payne was pretty stubborn the other day for a lower division basketball team. They came in and gave the Saints everything they wanted until Flagler finally pulled away late.
The entire game, Dave, was very, very competitive. Coach Blake and Coach Kipp were obviously challenged a little bit with rotations without having the full benefit of JB, this was his first game returning to play any significant minutes. So it's almost like reorienteering your rotation process. And with 5 minutes left in the game, it was a 1-point game. And curiously, the Payne coach had left their number 13, Larson, in the game with 4 fouls. He fouled out. He fouled Destin Clark, who made both free throws to move the margin to 3. And Flagler went on a 9-point run right after that. So it's more than coincidental because that number 13 was a great all-around player. He wasn't the lead scorer, wasn't the lead rebounder, but he did everything for Payne.
Right.
And I credit our guys for staying composed, staying together, and finishing that game off with a 12-point win. They were only up 4 at the half, and won the second half by 8, ended up with a 12-point victory. But It was important for their confidence level and the fact that they stayed composed and did not turn the ball over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, Destin Clark had a big game in that one. 24 points, 12 rebounds for the newcomer. All right, let's look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Mighty Banyans of New College. At a guard, a sophomore, number 0, Sean LaFrace. At forward, a 6'9 junior, number 1, Jack Scott. At guard, a 6'3 junior, number 3, Skylar Pimentel. At guard, a 6'3 senior, number 11, Jordan Clark. And at forward, a 6'8 freshman, number 13, Zach Close. The Banyans are coached by Andrew Wingren. His assistants are Kyle McVeigh, Will Drescher, and Ty Brooks. And now the starters for the Flagler College Saints and head coach Blake Sellen. At a guard, a 6'1 junior, number 0, Jax Balknight. At guard, a 6-foot junior, number 1, Omar Figueroa. At forward, a 6'8 senior, number 5, Tyler Collier. At guard, a 6'3 junior, number 15, Destin Clark. And rounding out the starting lineup, at forward, a 6'4 redshirt junior, number 23, Jalen Barr. Saints in the home whites with the red trim and red numerals, and New College in their blue unis with the white trim and white lettering and numerals. Glad to have you with us here on the PBC Network. Late arriving crowd here at Flagler Gym. Here's Collier. Bounces it for Clark. Clark goes to work on the post move, leaves it short, rebound New College.
Well, Clark, as you mentioned, had the best all-around game of anyone for the team this year against Payne. Just solid, everything he did. Double-double, points and rebounds.
They really love his all-around skill set, his toughness, his physicality. There's Figueroa hoisting a 3. Pass goes inside, double team comes, and dropping it in for the first points of the game is Jack Scott. Junior out of Jupiter, Florida. Transfer from Palm Beach Atlantic.
He made a nice burn from the opposite side there for the layup.
And there's the hoop and the foul. Destin Clark picking up right where he left off on Wednesday night.
Well, your description of being a physical player fits him well. He made some very important inside baskets. One of them, he was double teamed and was able to get it up over the front of the rim and score against Payne right when they were making their run.
And right when the bigs for Flagler were in foul trouble, both Collier and Kyle Young having to go to the bench with foul issues at that moment. Dump it down for Scott. Working on Balknight. Rebound to Clark. Balknight open for three. A run out the other way for the Banyans, and there's Pimentel. Clark again inside. He's got all 5 of Flagler's points.
What a terrific up and under move that he put on the New College defender.
And it's blocked by Figueroa. Ball will stay here with the Banyans as one of the New College players is down and very slow to get back up. I think that's Pimentel. It is Schuyler, and he's up and staying in the game.
He is one of the New College's more consistent scorers. He had a pretty good game in his last game. I think he had 19 points. Good all-around player.
5 New College players average double figures for Coach Wingren. Again, first year of this program. New College did not have athletics prior to this season. They're an NAI school. This will count, initially listed as an exhibition for New College, but now will be a counting game for the mighty Banyans, who are 1-7 coming in. Flagler's 3-3. Clark to Balknight in the corner, gets it back to Clark. 7 to shoot. Collier hoists a 3. Pimentel picks up his dribble, misses the short jumper. Clark keeps it alive into the hands of Balknight. Balknight attacks, left-handed, and the finish is there for Jax Balknight. Tough shot right at the rim.
Now that was an acrobatic layup. The New College defender was able to get his hand on the ball as Jax was cutting across. Jax had to wait until the last second, and he was still able to lay it up softly off the glass and in.
Another rebound for Clark. Balknight wide open for 3, and he drops it in. Flagler's opened up a 10-5 lead. Three-pointer is off the target from close with the offensive rebound and the stick back by Jordan Clark.
Yeah, somebody missed a box out there. We had 2 guys right over there, and he slipped right underneath them for an uncontested layup off the rebound.
Clark looking for Jalen Barr underneath. Barr, a little too strong. Shooting over the double team. Pimentel at the other end draws the foul from Collier, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. That should get us to the under-16 media timeout. You're watching Flagler basketball on the PBC Network. And welcome back. Pimentel at the line out of the media timeout.
Well, he's got some talent. He came down on the right-hand side, full speed, came to a great stop with two Flagler defenders there. He kind of bumped one off, pump faked the other one in the air, and laid it in and got fouled. So
checking in for New College, number 15, Adonis Canaris.
Checking in for Flagler, we have Kyle Young in for Tyler.
Yeah, that'll be the essentially the rotation in the post. It'll be Collier and Young, and either one could start. Either one could come off the bench, and then they'll get some added oomph inside by guys like Destin Clark, Jalen Barr, who play a little bigger perhaps than their listed height with their tenacity underneath. Clark has it, draws an immediate double team. New College must have done some homework. Young is rejected. Nice play by Jackson Dawson, number 22. New College hanging around through the first 5 minutes of this one. Wide open three straight away. And it's Figueroa with the board. Balknight attacks again. Another strong move to the hoop by Jax Balknight.
What an ability to lay that ball softly on the rim under duress.
Glimpses of flashes of Jacek Lottie there. One and done again for New College. Destin Clark wants a piece of the action, and he drops it in. His 7th point of the game.
That was a nice, relaxed move down the middle. He was so in control, and New College gave him a little freedom, and he just went up and put it in.
There's a made three by Scott. Clark into the corner. Figueroa tries a three. Kyle Young tried to keep it alive, and Barr does. Offensive board for the Saints thanks to Kyle Young and Jalen Barr teaming up. Wide open Figueroa. Short. Barr, another offensive rebound, goes strong back up, and a whistle and a foul. Well, Jalen Barr, good to see him back in a Saints uniform after missing all of last year with an injury.
He is so close, and if you watch him play now and you watched him play the other night at Payne, you can tell that the layoff, nobody can go a year without playing competitive basketball and come back and have that soft touch around the rim, be able to leap. You know, he's got a 40-inch leap, so that layup that rolled off the front of the rim, he probably had 3 of those in the Payne game. Now, he was 1 for 7, but the good news was at the end of the game, he flashed baseline and he threw in a terrific jam, so I think that helped him feel a little better.
Barr, former Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, and he gives it up to Clark. Unselfishness from the Saints. We saw it in the Payne game too. The willingness to make the extra pass, and that'll make Coach Selland and his staff, I'm sure, very happy. Back to a 5-point advantage for the Saints. Clark nearly throws it away. Straightaway three again, Scott. He's got 8. Balknight attacks, gives it up. Kyle Young, more sharing of the basketball.
Great pass by Jax. Again, he came down the lane on the right-hand side. 2 New College players moved toward him. He never took his eye off the rim and just put a soft bounce pass underneath them for the easy layup for Kyle.
Balknight, the junior from Alpharetta, Georgia, has taken over point guard duties over the last couple of seasons. Spencer Bain back into the game as Clark and Barr head to the bench. Also checking in is Boom Reeves, number 14. Well, Coach Sellen in his second season as the head coach here for Flagler. After 5 seasons as an assistant to Chad Warner, where the Saints had historic success going all the way to the Final Four in 2021. Young keeps it alive. Saints want to run. Balknight attacks. And an offensive foul on Jax. Well, the New College defender stood his ground. I don't have a beef with that call.
Well, I think Jax realized that as he was laying on his back out of bounds. He put 2 hands to his head, and it was not because of any injury. It was, what did I just do? But that happens.
So Balknight will get a breather. Figueroa is back in. And so is number 2, Mason Manning. Manning, a highly recruited freshman from Jackson, Mississippi. This is short. Reeves yanks down the rebound. Figueroa into the front court. Reeves hands it off to Bain, the 3-point threat. Mason Manning can hit those as well. Left that one a little long. And a free throw line jumper is short from Clark. Manning had a nice game against Payne, made a couple of key baskets.
Great decision making that game. He played 26 minutes with the different rotations. Along with Boom Reeves, who played 14 minutes, important minutes. And you may not have seen a lot on the stat sheet, but his overall defense and playing his role were instrumental in Flagler going on that roll late on the fourth quarter. As you already mentioned, that we had foul trouble with the big men.
Yep.
And Boom came in not having played a whole lot, and he was solid.
Boom Reeves, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 5 to shoot. And a nice move to the rack just in time by Jordan Clark. Well, Coach Sellen said Manning could play anywhere from 5 to about 25 minutes a game. So he hit kind of that upper threshold, and the Saints certainly needed him. And that's a timeout. Flagler leads it by 5.
Yes, he was 4 of 7. He was 3 of 4 from the field and was 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 10 points during those 26 minutes. So a very solid performance.
Yeah, got to like the depth for Flagler. We'll step aside for just a moment. Be back with more Saints basketball coming up. And welcome back here to Flagler Gymnasium. Glad to have you with us. Chance to thank some of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics, including Vested Metals. We are a customer-centric and solution-based metal supplier. UBS Financial, pursue what matters most to you for today, tomorrow, and generations to come. And Sunshine Realty for all of your real estate needs. In the short corner, it's Kyle Young, the transfer from Siena. And he's fouled, fighting for the rebound off his miss.
They tried to come over and double him. He made a nice move with a reverse pivot to protect the double team, up faked, and got fouled on his way to the rim.
Young from a very athletic family. Parents both athletes at Syracuse, and his brother is a basketball player at Duke.
He also, Dave, had a very solid performance against Payne. 4 of 7 from the field, a couple of free throws, 5 rebounds in 14 minutes time. That's a lot of production for limited minutes. He did have the foul issue, but
Coach Sellen said he maybe had the best fall of anyone on the roster. They're really impressed the way he prepared for this season. As Boom Reeves picks up his first personal, and that sends Malachi Pearson to the line.
Yeah, it seems like in the first 10 minutes of this half that we have been kind of easing our way into the tempo. It looked like New College was saying, well, take a few threes. Let's see. We didn't really make one until Jax put one down. But I'm happy to see that we're not just coming down against a team that on paper is not as strong as we are, thinking we can just throw up threes.
Spencer Bain for Clark. Skip past Manning. Back to Bain with 10 on the shot clock. Now Clark. Nice move on the reverse side of the rim. Clark's got some post moves.
I didn't think he had enough room to tightrope along the baseline.
Pimentel. Well, baby hook rolls around and falls down for Scott, who's had himself a nice half. He's got 10 points. Clark has 11 to lead all scorers. He misses on that attempt, but gets the rebound. Here's Reeves spinning. Figueroa. His 3, no, but another offensive board for the Saints. Good defense by the Banyans, who cannot seem to end the possession, though, and there's Manning putting a cap on it. Mason Manning.
Number 2, Mason Manning.
Nice recovery of a loose rebound, and then he came right down into the center of the paint and relaxed and let the defense make their move, and then he put in the reverse layup. Really smooth.
Scott passes out of the double team. A three-pointer is short from LaFrace. Offensive board for the Banyans, and there's Pimentel.
Basket is good.
Well, New College hanging around. Still a 6-point game.
That was unfortunate. We had the rebound. It was fought for between Destin and Boom, and Destin knocked it out of Boom's hand. It went right to the New College player who laid it in.
Clark inside, kept alive by Manning. Baines open. Gets his defender in the air. Now Figueroa. Fadeaway jump shot. Pretty shot by Omar Figueroa. Junior out of Puerto Rico and a transfer from the University of North Alabama. Left-handed layup is good by Zach Close.
I don't know how Pimentel was able to make that pass. I give him credit. They had him trapped on the baseline, but he found his teammate. They got a layup out of it.
There's Figueroa in traffic, draws the foul. So Omar heads to the line.
Falls on number 1, Jack Scott.
Well, that's a good sign.
We'll take 2 foul shots after the timeout.
I will say that
Recognizing more sponsors,
New College,
B&S signs,
their
College
recovery on
Customers
defense,
Service,
especially to the
signs, thank you
perimeter,
at all.
has been exceptional. So we're not getting those good look from the three. So, but on our part, we're not settling either. And that drive by Omar was an example of it. He showed the ball, got the defender in the air a little, and then went down the lane and got fouled. So over the last 7 minutes, that's going to pay dividends. This game is relatively free of fouls right now. I mean, either team, Flagler has 5 and New College 4. So we're still away from the one-on-one situation.
Right. Well, let's thank some more of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics, including 93 King, alumni-owned two-bedroom cottage just 53 steps from campus. Applebee's, there's no place like the neighborhood. Academy Bus, we know the way. 80 Davis Construction, builders, developers, and contractors. Bailey Group, no matter where you want to go, we'll help you get there. And BNS Signs, quality signage and service when it comes to signs. We do it all. It's a 6-point game. Flagler just 2 of 10 on 3-pointers. 2 of 7 for the Banyans. Flagler overall shooting it better than New College, 48% to 43%.
Well, in comparison, Dave, against Payne, we took 13 threes for the game and made 6. I think that's more in line where Coach Sellen wants our team to be. A little more effort, a little better ball movement, and higher percentage shooting. Having said that, we have the makings of an exceptional three-point shooting team, but you've got to take what the defense gives you.
Absolutely. An offensive board for the Saints. They now have 8 offensive rebounds. Collier's in trouble. 6 on the shot clock. And Clark, another tough shot, splitting the double team.
Yeah, I don't know what the officials saw underneath. Pimentel came into Destin hard into the chest. And the fact that he is so well built, he made it look like nothing. And then he still was able to stay in the air and put it off the glass and in. But typically, you would see a three-point play there.
Clark tied for the team lead in scoring at 17.5 points a game with Figueroa. Malik Bryant right behind him at 17.2. Malik out for a second straight game. And you talked to Coach Sellen a little bit about that, but probably will not see him today. It does not appear he's even dressed out.
He sprained his ankle. It's a mild lower ankle sprain on Wednesday at practice, and on Tuesday at practice. So he did not play in the Payne game. And when I spoke to Coach Blake yesterday, he said our goal is rest him. We're not going to fall into the category this early in the year of trying to make him tested.
Smart with conference season just around the corner. Will start in early January on the road at Georgia Southwestern. And there's a nice left-handed finish from LaFrace. Clark into the corner. Now it's Collier. Met Collier's stepdad earlier today. Tough shot inside, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, Tyler had some nice footwork there. I don't think he realized in his first move that the New College defender had gone the wrong way, and he had a wide open layup on this side of the basket. He tried to go underneath and reverse it, and he got fouled. When you and I did the Edward Waters game, Tyler was 2 of 3 from three-point range, and that played a big role in us getting away from them because New College is doing the same thing. When Destin Clark gets the ball down deep, they're kind of collapsing. Tyler's sitting all by himself at the three-point line. He just missed that last one. I mean, it went down, it looked like 50%, and then came back out the other side like a bad putt. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. 8-point lead for the Saints. Good communication from Barr and Clark defensively, making sure they know who's switching and who's responsible for whom. Now,
I like that rebounding look. we had everybody boxed out. We had 4 Flagler players right around the horseshoe. Looked like the Maginot line.
Collier. Nice little baby hook from Tyler Collier.
Well, I'm going to give our guys and the coach credit. They called that play because number 13, that's a mismatch. He can't cover Tyler. And so that's the second time they've gone right down at him and come away with production.
Good matchup coaching by the Saints staff. Clark has it, cut off, gives it to Collier. And now Barr. Back to Balknight, straightaway 3. Nice bounce pass inside, but the defense is right there.
Great help by the Flagler defense.
Three-pointer is short, long rebound to Collier. Now Balknight, Saints want to attack. Clark has it on the baseline. Gets it back. And scores! Wow, 15 points for Destin Clark. And a timeout taken by New College. We'll take it too. You're watching Flagler basketball on the Peach Belt Conference Network. And welcome back. Out of the timeout. Saints enjoy their biggest lead of the game at 12 points.
And as you and I just discussed, Dave, the patience on that offensive setup was excellent. Ended up with Destin Clark getting a great, with his back to the basket, a nice layup to go up 12.
Three-pointer right at the buzzer is off target. Another offensive board for the Banyans and a foul underneath as Clark went back up with it.
Fouls on number 5, Tyler Collier.
Fouls on Collier. That's his second personal. It's the 6th team foul for the Saints. New College 1-7. First year of athletics for New College.
They've been accepted into the Sun Conference, so they're a provisional member this year.
NAIA level. There's Balknight getting free. Nice feed by Clark. I'm impressed by the unselfishness of the Saints making the extra pass time and time again.
This is what Coach Sullen wanted. He wanted patience today. He wanted taking care of the ball, and he wanted high percentage shots. Barr
comes down with another rebound. Balknight hurries it into the front court, goes right at the rack and scores. He's into double figures with 11 points.
That was fun to watch,
That
Dave.
was fun.
That was fun to watch. Jax got into fourth gear, then fifth, and then he went to sixth and still laid it off the glass softly. I mean,
Tough shot inside. Barr with another rebound. Outlet pass to Manning, who leaked out. And the Saints are having their way with New College at this point, 43-27.
a great look down court by Jalen Barr. I mean, he got the rebound, protected it, looked down court before he put it to the floor, saw him wide open and sent it down to Manning for the layup.
Another tough floater won't go for LaFrace. Balknight, a little out of control, and it'll go back over to New College. Balknight, I think, is just unhappy with himself. I don't think there's any injury over there. And Bain will come back into the game, replacing Collier. Well, a small lineup on the floor. No Collier, no Young out there right now.
This is a little similar to the lineup they had in the second half against Payne, but a little less height because Boom Reeves was in then. So that gave him a little bit more of a front court presence than this current lineup. But with Jalen and Destin in there, you've got a lot of rebounding power in those legs.
Oh, Barr goes to the line. Interesting, New College has not been credited with a turnover. It feels like they've turned the ball over at least once. Barr nearly turned them over on that last possession, but he was fouled in the process.
Okay. Shooters bounce off the rim, makes the second free throw. That's good for Jalen. I mean, Coach Sullen's objective today with JB. Oh, he then missed a travel there. He went off his pivot foot, but was to get him in a mindset of what can I do to help the team.
Oh, Barr misses the alley-oop after forcing the turnover. Here's Clark. A no-look over the head pass to Barr. And he'll go to work in the post, gets his man to slip, and drops it in.
Well, you're being kind. I'm going to call it a little more of a flop. But either way, a great move by Jalen to finish it off.
Pimentel, no. Barr battling for the rebound. He's just too tough inside. Clark had it knocked out of his hands on the way up, and now Bain nearly comes up with the steal, and that'll do it. A good half for Flagler. They lead at 47-27, and we'll see if Coach Schellen elects to come up and talk to us here at the half. And meanwhile, let's get your thoughts, Coach, on what you saw.
Well, as we were just discussing, the Flagler goal for today's game was to play a solid all-around game, not settle for shots. As I said, it looked like New College was saying, go ahead, take some threes, because when we start just throwing them up, our percentage goes down. Now, we do shoot about 45% from three, but it's all in the course of the structure, the natural rhythm of the game. I thought we played hard. I thought we did a pretty good job on the offensive boards. I don't know what the final total will be.
9 offensive rebounds.
Fantastic.
And winning the rebound battle overall 27-14, so they have done a good job on the glass.
And that's something that he's going to compliment the team at halftime here, because they were really specific about being focused. And against a team which they were expecting to be ahead, and we're up 20, he didn't want any complacency or lackadaisical effort out there. So I think we're getting the kind of effort they were looking for.
That'll do it for the first half. 47-27 Flagler. We'll take a short break. Be back with you in about 10 minutes, folks. And welcome back. Some of the halftime stats are up on your screen. Looking at individual scoring, Destin Clark has 15 points to lead everybody. He's also got 12 rebounds, so we'll keep an eye on that number, as the school record for rebounding or rebounds in a game is 24, held by Barry Craig all the way back in 1974. So nearly 50 years ago the record was set, and Destin Clark at least has a shot at it. He's on pace to tie the record. For New College, the leading scorer is Scott with 10. Pimentel and Clark have 6 each. And also for the Saints in double figures is Jax Balknight with 11.
Okay, same unit that started the first half, starting for Flagler.
Steal by the Saints. Clark has it. Looking to attack, gives it up to Barr. A little trouble on the handle, but he gets it under control and drops it in.
Well, I am so happy for Jalen. He's had so many layups in his first 2 games back, roll off the rim. That was clearly on the degree of difficulty, the most difficult, and he laid it in. Kind of like an underhand facing the basket reverse layup.
Yeah, it's a horse shot. Looking down low for Scott, and he drops it in. Scott's had a nice game. He's up to 12 points.
He's got some good hands. Tyler tried to front him there, and he got up there, got the ball, and laid it in.
And there's a foul underneath, and I'll get Collier for his third. So again, Collier in foul trouble for the second consecutive game. And just thinking about a player like Jack Scott, he's a contributor for this NAI school brand new program. If you're a Flagler coach, and maybe this is against the rules, but are you looking at players you're playing in your non-conference and thinking he might be a good fit for us next season?
A lot of that is going to depend on the individual, the way it works now with that transfer portal. And I don't know where an NAIA player has an eligibility. I'm not up to speed on that type of thing, whether he could put his name in there or not. Certainly, if he indicated to a school that he was interested in transferring, and that school goes to his school and says, listen, we'd like to talk to him, that is within the bounds of NCAA regulation.
Barr with a mighty block for the Saints, doing a little of everything today for Flagler. Here's Clark again. He's had the hot hand. Gets his own miss and is blocked by Scott. LaFrace with a running left-hander.
That seems to be his go-to move when they're late in the shot clock and they need somebody to step up. That's he's done a couple of those.
Collier staying in the game with those 3 fouls. Here's Barr in the low block. Gives it up when the double team comes to him. Now Collier will try a 3. He's got that kind of range.
Tyler's happy now. I think he was upset at the last one that went way down but came back out. So, but he's got great form and technique on that.
Nearly another steal. Tyler's stepdad was telling me his father, who played with the Eagles and was not really a big part of his life growing up, but said Tyler actually was in the locker room on a Super Bowl Sunday when the Eagles played in the Super Bowl way back when. And so he's been around, or has at least some pedigree there, although his father, again, didn't do a whole lot in terms of, or didn't have a whole lot of a relationship with him as he grew up. It was more his mother and his stepfather.
Okay.
But, it's interesting to see kind of the pedigrees. We talk about Kyle Young a lot and his athletic family. And so certainly Collier comes from one as well. Coach, you were talking, of course, if you're not familiar, Joe Harding, longtime women's assistant coach here at Flagler, over a couple of different administrations, if you will, or head coaching tenures. Tell me, the women are on a bit of a break now, and that was by design.
Yes. Yesterday was a no-class reading day as they prepare for their final examinations next week. So we will be home here Tuesday, December 12th. That's a 5 p.m. game against Southern Wesleyan. And part of the gap was attributed to our participation in Embry-Riddle's Thanksgiving Classic. So we played 2 games.
And how did that go?
Down in Daytona. So we went down, we played the day after Thanksgiving, and our defense looked like that because we left it up here in St. Augustine. Embry-Riddle, the host school, beat us. So we came out on Saturday and played Florida Tech, an entirely different team that entered the floor, played great defense. We won by 16 and played an all-around solid game. We were in control most of the way, and it was spread out amongst the whole team, although Destiny McClendon had 24 points. She was clearly the high scorer, but it was a team effort.
There's Figueroa. And what's the status of Sherelle McCormick? Is she back to full strength?
Sherelle is now running without the boot, not sprinting, but she is running, and we're all pretty confident that by Tuesday, December 12th, she will be playing basketball. I'm not going to say she'll be starting that day, probably not, but she will be back in the mix.
So Barr scores and draws the foul. Jalen Barr is really asserting himself against New College. And the lead has swelled to 23. The first personal on Pimentel.
You make a good point, Dave. That particular play there really looked like the old Jalen Barr. Up in the air, under control, held the ball, he suspends himself, and then put it up off the glass and in. Really difficult to defend that type of move.
So athletic, known most for his rebounding and defense, but he is developing that offensive game slowly and surely over the course of the last handful of years he's been here in St. Augustine, first under head coach Chad Warner and now under Blake Selland. Nice jump shot all on the baseline for Pearson.
Good patience by New College in that short corner.
Clark has 19.
The New College defense, it seems like it's softened up a little bit. Either that or let's give our guys some credit. They're seeing the seams, and they're not hesitating.
Barr taps that one out of bounds. Flagler playing in his zone on this particular possession. And that'll get us to the under-16 media timeout. 61-37, Flagler in control. And welcome back here to Flagler Gym, the Clark family court. Well, we'll see when Coach Sellen and the staff elect to start going deeper into the bench. We've seen mostly starters and the top rotation players so far. Parr gets another offensive rebound. That is his 6th rebound, and for the Saints, it is their 10th offensive board. They're dominating the glass. 11 now. The stats just updated. 31-16 overall on rebounds in favor of Flagler. Beautiful arcing three-pointer from Figueroa.
Well, you knew that was coming, Dave. We were just waiting for the right moment, and he had a great look from the top of the key. Buried it.
Next shot is good by Zach Close.
Pearson drops in the bucket. He's got 5. Destin Clark has it stolen away from behind by Clark. New College wants to run. Banyans keep it alive. Another offensive board. And that will keep it right here with New College. What is a banyan? Any idea off the top of your head? I can look it up, I know, but I thought I'd ask.
I'd like to say I know what it is. I don't. So
3-pointer is off target from Scott, who leads the Banyans with 14 points. Clark, Figueroa. Another beautiful 3 on the way. No. Clark gets the offensive board and draws the foul.
well, those rebounding numbers are starting to add up for Mr. Clark.
Making his way to the foul line for the Saints.
So a banyan, according to just a quick Google search, is a fig tree. That doesn't make a lot of sense, the fighting fig trees, and maybe there's another definition. Checking back in for the Banyans is LaFrace, and he'll spell Clark. Stolen away by Clark and is off to the races. He'll slam it home. Destin Clark putting the exclamation mark on that turnover and basket. He's up to 23 points. And let's check his rebounding total, 16. So he's 8 off tying the record from 1974. And boom, Reeves is fouled as he attempts the throwdown.
Nice pass from Jalen Barr to set him up on that.
Been really impressed by the passing, the unselfishness of the Saints today. They have 13 assists on 27 made baskets. Pretty good numbers there.
And I'm sure we're shooting over 50%, which we've been doing the last couple of games.
Yes, 56.3. Very good, Coach. Still not hot from 3, just 27% from beyond the arc, but New College is even worse. 2 of 13 for a 15.4% clip. It's a 30-point lead.
Well, I'd say our shot selection in the second half has been pretty intelligent. I'm guessing the three-point percentage has gone up quite a bit because I know Tyler made one, Omar made one. We haven't taken that many.
4 of 15 on threes are the Saints. And there's a bucket and a foul. Dawson.
Jackson Dawson. He was fouled by number 14, Boom Reeves.
Fouls on Reeves. That's his second personal.
Jackson Dawson to the foul line for the Banyans. He'll shoot 1.
Barr drives, has the ball knocked out of his hands, goes to the floor to try to keep it alive, but the Banyans come away with the steal. LaFrace moving to his left. And now Canaris, and Adonis Canaris was fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Bachnight picks up the foul. That's his second personal.
Well, the Saints in the second half here are getting into the new college players. We have probably at least half a dozen deflections or pokeaways or whatever, and it's starting to show. They've only scored 8 minutes into the half.
They've scored 14 points.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Bain along the baseline, draws some contact. Now Barr on the beautiful feed from Mason Manning. And Barr will go back to the free throw line.
Nice look inside by Mason.
13 sat close. Jalen Barr back to the foul line.
Barr, a chance to get into double figures. He's at 9 points. And substitutions for the Banyans as Pimentel and Clark return.
And you mentioned Jalen bringing his overall game, making it more complete with his offense. His free throw shooting is part of that improvement. He has been, over the last 2-3 years, really improved that part of his game.
Yeah, now a 72% free throw shooter coming into today. Here's more of the good hands you talked about, Coach. That time Boom Reeves getting a hand in the passing lane.
I really like Boom's game. I mean, I like his game, period. But defensively, he brings some breadth and quickness that I think when you and I did at the end of last year, the Clayton State game, we were commenting how Clayton went into that almost like a 32 defense to stymie our three-point shooting. But it looked like they covered between three guys, sideline to sideline, with their wingspans.
Right.
And Boom gives us that dimension in there. It's awful hard to get interior passing without him getting his hands on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. You have an amazing memory for basketball details, Coach. I vaguely remember the Clayton State game, but you obviously vividly remember it, and it'll be interesting to see as we look ahead to the Saints' upcoming schedule. They'll be on the road at Spring Hill on the 12th when the women are here at home, and then they'll play in a Tampa tournament against both Eckerd and Tampa University. Two good programs out of the Sunshine State Conference. That's a great basketball conference. And so you have some of the weaker opponents, if you will, in Payne and New College. And it's a good tune-up because you're going to get some strong non-conference opponents right before you hit the league season.
Exactly. I think it's the perfect setup, especially as they try to work Destin Clark and Mason Manning into the rotation. And it gives you that competitive, I mean, it's going to be a very competitive viral situation over there with those two Sunshine State Conference teams.
And a nice-looking turnaround on the hook shot by Dawson. First league game, first PBC contest is at Georgia Southwestern. There's Spencer Bain. First points of the game from number 3, and it's on a 3.
He hit that. He was right in tempo. He didn't rush the shot, follow through. That's Spencer.
LaFrace picks up his dribble, and a no-look bounce pass goes out of bounds. Another turnover for New College. They haven't committed a lot, just 7 now in the game. Saints just 5 turnovers, and that's another thing I'm sure the coaches will be very pleased with, the ball security.
Extremely pleased. As I mentioned to you earlier, They had the high 20s in turnovers against Edward Waters, and then against Payne. The statistics in that game were amazingly even. Both teams only had 14 turnovers. Both teams made 6 threes. Both teams made 22 free throws. Flagler took a couple more shots, but they made more baskets. Their shooting percentage was higher. And they just turned a basic, solid, all-around performance into a 12-point win that game. And I think it's given them some real confidence. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The athleticism of Barr on the missed Balknight layup, flying through and slamming it home. Lead is 33 and another turnover, and Barr again! Oh, and a whistle and a timeout, New College. The Saints are rolling.
Well, in this second half, Dave, we have moved the defense up 2 notches, and all of a sudden, New Salem, I don't want to say they're playing recreation ball, but it looks like they're in a pickup game and we're in a competitive game. Flagler guys have tipped away balls. Jalen, to your point, on that layup that Omar, the ball came over the other side of the rim. It was actually below the rim. Jalen came in, got it in 2 hands below the rim, and jammed it with 2 hands. Now that is an athletic.
It's incredible how athletic he is. We'll step aside. You're watching Flagler basketball on the PBC Network. .35 lead for Flagler out of the New College timeout. Jumper is pure from Pearson. Balknight to Bain, gets his defender in the air, steps forward and drops in the 2.
Well, the Saints are rolling now. Spencer, again, beautiful shot fake. And then he put the ball to the floor, took 1 dribble, stepped in, and swished it. That's what you want to see from your shooters out on the perimeter.
Spencer Bain, the 6'2 junior out of Kansas. And another Clark rebound. That will be 17 for him to go with his 23 points, a game high. And another steal by Barr. Balknight all by himself. And a little fanciness, a chance by Balknight to throw it off the glass. The Saints are having some fun.
Yeah, I don't think Destin expected Jax to set him up because he never left his feet.
And Coach Stellan talking to Balknight. Both smiles on both of their faces. I'm not sure this is much of a dressing down as is just some friendly coaching. 82-47. And another turnover nearly, and it is a turnover as Collier will pick up the steal. Here's Clark giving it up to Tyler. Free throw. A stuff by Collier, wow.
2-hand jam. Tyler had a big smile on his face. That was a nice pass that set him up on that.
Way off target by Jack Scott. He's been quiet here in the second half. Extra pass again, and Collier is rim checked. Tough shot right at the 10 from Clark, and Mason Manning has it going the other way. Gives it to Figueroa for 3. And a turnover by New College. We'll get the under 8 timeout. You're watching Flagler basketball on the PBC Network.
Timeout on the court.
Bain has it top of the key to Figueroa. Goes baseline. Tough reverse layup. And it seems like nearly every time down the floor it's a highlight type play for one of the Saints. That time Omar Figueroa.
Yeah. Omar went by 3 New College players before he did the reverse layup. Very, very great effort.
And it'll go back over to Flagler. Jack Carter, number 33, is into the game, freshman from Tennessee. Won a couple of state titles for Good Pasture Christian School. Spencer Bain on the backdoor cut.
What a well-timed cut by Spencer. Mason Manning started to the middle, and Spencer's man took a step in a hedge, and Spencer just went backdoor on him. Mason found him for the easy layup. That's basketball right there.
10 on the shot clock. And Figueroa goes up for the board. Manning with the 3. Quick 3 at the other end from Tyrone Smith. And then a steal, and boom, Reeves with a block.
Okay, he makes up for the errant pass after a great defensive effort, and then goes and blocks that player's shot and gets the rebound off that. So let's give him A+ for hustle. But like I said, he just demonstrated his quickness and his length, and he gets off his feet so well.
Boom Reeves on the low block, has it batted away, and now stolen by Scott. Scott draws the foul. Boom Reeves will pick up his third personal. Scott with 14 points, but he's been relatively quiet in the second half. And a timeout called, I think, by the Saints.
Yeah, Boom, he had Scott. Scott had his back to the basket. You're not allowed to put two hands on that situation. You need to either have maybe one or an armbar. And keep your distance, etc. So they called the foul.
Thanking some more of the sponsors, including Evans Automotive, quality work at a fair price, 5-star pizza, bigger, better, faster, and Fish Bites. And I'm not sure if you were here, Coach, or not, because I don't have the memory you have. But I had a great experience at Fish Bites. I went in there, their location next to their factory down behind Home Depot, and I'm not a very good fisherman. I'm not very knowledgeable about local fishing, and I went in and said, help me out. And they couldn't have been more helpful, friendly, hooked me up with the rig that they thought would be successful for Salt Run near my house. And I went out and caught a fish the very first day on a Fish Bite. So, I mean, that's my testimonial to Fish Bites.
Well, you're well ahead of me because my grandson is a heck of a fisherman, but I'm 0 for 0.
Oh, no. 0 for 0, okay. Well, we got to get you out. There's some great fishing here in the St. Augustine area, and Fish Bites can certainly hook you up.
Literally and figuratively, right?
Right. Figueroa with the shot clock winding down.
Well, I think the new college coach got in his players' ears because they were playing very inspired defense on that set.
Boom Reeves with the rebound, and now his pass is intercepted.
Basket is good by number 11, Jordan.
New college has definitely said, okay, you had us down 40. That's embarrassing. We got to play some defense here. So give them credit.
Bain for Carter. Carter attacks and has his shot blocked. Nearly stolen, and it is by Figueroa. And then blocked by Scott. Kind of a herky-jerky sequence there. Good defense on both sides. And checking in for the first time is number 25, Cam Nell. Or is it Neal? He's number 25.
All right.
And Nell.
Well, Cam showed us something there.
Yes.
He got off his feet from a standing jump and put a dunk in with two hands. Now that's impressive.
Nell, the freshman from Charleston, South Carolina. And Nell skies for the rebound. And making the most of his minutes here. Boom Reeves with the finger roll.
Another exceptional athletic move.
And Scott for a new college and a whistle, and Saints will start to clear the bench. Here's Corey O'Hare, 6'8" freshman out of Tampa.
Well, that last flurry by the Saints down the court, you mentioned the unselfish play. They gave Boom coming down the lane the ball. He made a great move. He had it in his right hand. I think he thought about trying to dunk, but he didn't have the momentum. He brought it back down, transferred it to his left hand, and kind of hooked it around the defender and laid it in. I want to see that one on replay.
So the Saints starting to clear the bench with about 3 minutes to go. A chance to thank more of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics. Remember, you can go to flaglerathletics.com for all the latest news, scores, game recaps, rosters, schedules, everything you need to know about Flagler Athletics. And we'd like to thank Salt Life. Eat, drink, and be salty. Hyundai of St. Augustine. When it comes to dreaming big, we're thinking of every mile. Holmes and Brackle Business Interiors. Make space for more. PIP Printing. Achieve your marketing goal. Pink Stork, the wellness brand for women. 123 Burger House. Grillin' and Chillin'. Northeast Florida Regional Airport, the smart choice for all your air travel needs. And Noah Bailey Group, proud sponsor of Flagler College Athletics. Well, this one's salted away, just a chance for us to watch some of the newcomers coach, and it's kind of exciting to see the athleticism of Nell, and looking forward to seeing what Carter can bring certainly to the situation and the equation. And Nell almost comes up with the steal, or has it stolen, excuse me. Rebound Bain. So Bain and Manning will run things at the guard positions with a fairly large lineup up there. Nell's 6'5", Carter 6'7", and O'Hare 6'8". Carter on the alley-oop try and could not finish. Manning.
That was a little alarming when he was up there because one of the New Balance players was in his feet and he kind of threw his balance off. I mean, normally a foul would have been called, but I mean, the officials they're doing a great job. They're not nickel and diming down the stretch here in a 40-point game.
Here's O'Hare with his first points of the game. In fact, his first points of the season. O'Hare had only played 1 minute coming into today. Stolen by New College. Good defense. Ben Walker coming away with it. And then Walker lost it on the way up. Tipped away and another steal, this time Spencer Bain.
Nice tip by Mason Manning.
Flagler with 10 steals in the game. Long three-pointer is good by Smith. Saints will spread things out here as we tick under a minute to go. O'Hare, double team, has it taken away. New College also with a lot of their reserves into the game. There's Carter with a rejection, but staying with the play is Alex Excellent. Must be a tough name to have, Alex Excellent,
yes.
All your life. People asking you, how are you?
Well, 20 seconds to go. Let's see if we attempt to take a shot.
Nell gets tied up. Possession arrow will keep it here with the Saints. The Fighting Banyans continuing to fight. At least the reserves have some fight left in them.
Well, I think this is the New College press defense. They've got a lot of little guards in there. Spencer Bain with that layup at the end. Okay.
Manning picks up the assist. More unselfishness from Flagler. Final 10 seconds, and Manning will be able to dribble this one out. The final 96-58. Flagler improves to 4-3 on the season. New College drops to 1-8. Well, your thoughts, Coach?
As we said earlier, Dave, this is just the way we hoped the day would be scripted. The men come out, they play a solid game in all aspects. Rebounding, assists, high percentage shooting, solid defense, no turnovers. And we got all that, and then, as we hoped, we would get to see some of the Flagler team members that haven't had an opportunity to play very much.
Right.
And we saw some great things from them. So what a wonderful Saturday afternoon it turned out to be.
So the winning streak is at 3 for Flagler, and now they'll go back on the road at Spring Hill on the 12th. So they've got 10 days off for exams, and then those two tough ones in Tampa against Eckerd and Tampa University, and starting the Peach Belt Conference season at Georgia Southwestern. Well, that'll do it for the coach and for our camera operator, Will Horn, and Laurel Plexico. Final thought?
May I also encourage our listeners, when you mentioned December 12th, let me remind them that the Flagler Lady Saints will have a home game against Southern Wesleyan Tuesday evening, the 12th at 5 p.m. Come on out, and that's going to set us up for the rest of our independent schedule, because we will be playing Rollins College on the 15th at Rollins. Then we are going down to Florida Tech to play in their classic, and we will play Florida Tech and Talladega, a new entry to Division II basketball.
Okay.
And
you've already beaten Florida Tech.
Yes, we have. And then, to your point about the men setting themselves up with the Tampa Classic, we will be going down to Stetson University right after Christmas.
Really?
And this is going to be a regular season game for Stetson.
So a D1 opponent.
A D1 opponent. They're not going to be interested in showing any mercy to D2, but we're going to go down there. It will be an exhibition game for the Flagler women's team, but it's great timing because we will have come back from the break, the 7-day break that all Division II teams are required to take. We'll get to play a very competitive opponent, and then we move to that opening, as you just mentioned, of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament away at Georgia Southwestern.
All right, so there you have it, the upcoming schedules for the men and the women. Final score, 96-58. Thanks for watching, everybody.